What's up? Hi people. This is me. This is kind of weird, I gotta say. I've never done this before, so let's see how this goes. I'll just kind of wing it. I'm not a planner, and I don't try very hard. So let's see how this goes. I've asked for a bunch of questions. I've gotten a bunch. A lot of them are pretty expected, pretty normal, pretty standard questions. Some of them aren't. Some of them are a little juicy. They're a little extra spicy, and I did ask for it, and boy did I get it. So we're gonna check them out, and yeah, I mean, if this is interesting to you, then just listen, I guess. So here we go. We're gonna start off pretty simple and pretty soft. We're gonna ease you into it, and we'll get progressively weirder. That's my idea, and that's probably what's gonna happen. So let's just get into it. First question from Vasily Mihai. He asks, he's written this a little sloppily, so I'll clean it up for him, but he's asking, how did I come up with the ideas for the different factions? See, when you put me on the spot like this, I barely remember what they are. But we'll start with the obvious ones. We have the Earl Kingdom, which, I mean, everybody's figured out at this point. It's kind of just Rohan, but not really. We just kind of took Rohan, or I took Rohan and tried to make it believable. I don't know, I was just playing around with it at one point, and I was like, wouldn't this be cool? And then I just kind of went for it. And, you know, you iterate on it. You start out with an idea, and then you work on it, and it gets more logical, more fleshed out, and more interesting as you go on. One of the other ones I thought of early on was the Durkan. And I don't even know how to pronounce that, but I guess that's how we're going to do it. I mean, they're basically just, you know, they're Mongols, they're Huns, they're raiding steppe people. There's plenty of examples of those throughout history, and I just kind of figured, wouldn't it be cool to have something like that? And they're sort of, you know, the antagonists of the setting, if you will. We got them. We have the Aenean city-states, which is sort of like, kind of like the Hellenic League of the classical era, and it's sort of like, I don't know, it's kind of inspired by different types of city-state dynamics that came up in history, so it's kind of, you got some Italian parallels probably in history. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing. It's just popped in my head and I just made it. What else do we got? I mean, we have the Nords. They're pretty self-explanatory, I think. We have the Vezigirs. Also kind of self-explanatory. There's your Vaegirs. We have the Subawari, which is just like there weren't any Africans in there. And I just went, alright. And then we made them. And then there's a heap of like mercenary factions and minor ones and bandits and stuff. I mean, it would be a whole video to go into, but I mean, yeah, that's the basic gist of it. So that was one question, and it took me 4 minutes. Let's see if we can get all of these, because there's a couple. Nico RTM asks, I need your mod as if it was air. So where's my goddamn air pal? He asked me this a week ago, and I haven't released the mod, so I'm gonna assume Nico has died. So I would like some Fs and RIPs in chat from Nico RTM. Rest in peace, buddy. Sorry. Acoustic Outlaw asks, what's your favorite faction you created and why? Are there any mod leaks you're willing to give us in honor of your 10K celebration? I mean, we haven't fully fleshed out every single one of them yet. I think the Durkan are probably the most original, because they're kind of like a mix of all kinds of steppe people. You got weird sort of human sacrifice, Aztec, Mayan kind of vibes. I think aesthetically they're pretty interesting as far as like the newest stuff we've added for them. So yeah, I would say them probably. And leaks, I mean, not really. Most of the stuff that we do I post somewhere right away, so no, just stay tuned. Daniel Schilling asks, and here comes the spicy ones, do you wipe front to back or back to front? Who would go back to front? What, are you reaching forwards? Like, are you scooping under the balls? Would you do that? No, that's fucking front to back, of course. He also asks your thoughts on biscuits and gravy. I mean, I've heard of it where I live, which is still a mystery to most people. That's not really a thing. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird. Isn't a biscuit like a cookie and gravy is like you put that on like a turkey? What the hell kind of combo is that? It sounds bizarre. If you have a guarantee, he also continues here. If you have a guarantee that no harm would befall you, what historical event would you like to witness up close and in person? I mean, I think some people have probably figured out at this point I'm a pretty big UFO buff and pretty much into everything strange. I'm one of those people who's very convinced that the Roswell crash was actually, the meme story is actually the real story. So I would have wanted to see that happen, you know, the first people showing up on the scene. I would have been just like peeking over their shoulder and seeing what's going on, because I think it's probably what people keep saying it was. You know, it's hard to I mean, like, if you see, you know, some like aluminum foil, what are the odds, even in the 40s, that you're gonna go, that's a flying saucer, and then you're gonna stick with that for like 2 days? It just sounds stupid. So I guess that's my answer. Frosty Boy asks, what's your motivation for making this mod? Also, is there any way we could assist you? I mean, my motivation for making it, I mean, I just like, I played the vanilla and I was, you know, it took maybe a week before I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't want to be too disparaging on Tailworlds because, you know, I like their game. It's kind of the whole reason anyone gives a shit about what I'm saying right now. So, you know, I'm appreciative of the fact that they did that, but there's so many like aesthetic choices that they made where I just don't get it. I don't know what they were thinking, and it kind of just irked the shit on me in the beginning until I just went, what the fuck is this? And I went into their files and just started looking, figuring out how I could fix it for my own sake. So that's where that started, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Is there any way we could assist you? I mean, if you know any modding stuff, feel free to get in touch. We always need more people on the team. Or if you want to go to my Patreon, only if you have the money. Now there's where you are. You can do that, and I mean, if enough people do it, I could do this full time. But only if you want to. It's no pressure. I'm doing it not free time right now, and I'm still doing it. So, you know, don't have to. Angus Wilson asks, your favorite Total War game? He's got 2 questions. Favorite Total War game? I mean, I love history, and I think history is very interesting, and I've always had a great interest in history. But I gotta say Warhammer 2, because it's just, like, all the Total War games, they've never really been really historical anyway, and they've kind of, like, never played like they were super historical. So I feel like it was just, made more sense for them to lean into some kind of fantasy setting, and I think, honestly, just, like, as a game, and the gameplay involved with this game, I think Warhammer 2 just does a better job of hitting the mark it's trying to hit as compared to like Rome 2 or Attila or any other ones. Because when was the last good historical game? People are going to say like Medieval 2, but that's fucking like half my age. No, that's not true. I'm old. It's old. Whatever. It's too old. You can't say that. That's just being silly. And Angus Wilson also asks, my thoughts on the state of geopolitical relationships in the Middle East. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I don't know. Just everyone's really mad. Can we just relax? I always, like, people tell me, like, you know, when we talk about this kind of stuff, people I know, like my parents or my siblings or whatever, I'm too idealistic, but I just kind of go, like, if I'm not allowed to, like, shoot people in my everyday life, why is it okay when you have a flag over your head and like a couple buddies and some guns? Let's just, you know, fucking, you gotta amicably try and fix shit. And it involves forgiveness, and it involves just moving the fuck on. Like, let's figure out a mutual future. I don't know. Don't ask me this. I don't know. God damn. Wyatt Moore asks, favorite faction / gameplay style in Warband? Nobody plays that anymore. I don't know. I haven't played this shit in like 10 years. Ask like 16-year-old me. I don't know. Victus Mortem asks, what is your main work? What do you do for a living? Could I say that? I mean, I could. I do sort of welding stuff. It's metal. It's not fun. Who cares? I don't even care. Peaceful Friend asks, how'd you get into modding? You do anything IT related in college / as a job? I mean, I think we kind of answered both of those things. I got into it because I thought the vanilla state of the game was kind of stupid, and no, I work with metal stuff, so no IT history. I just kind of figured it out. Valentine Isikai, I don't know. He asks, what hard-coded features would you like to add to your mod? By hard-coded, I guess he just means like new mechanics, new features. I would say, I mean, we're still kind of speculating on that front. We haven't settled on specifics quite yet because we don't really know what's doable and what's not. But a couple things we want to do is rework recruitment and how that works, preferably with maybe like levy grounds and barracks and stuff like this. You can get specific units and bulks and stuff here and there. And culture conversion would be something I would want to try and get in there in some form. Unsure how. Invasion mechanics is something we really want to do, and more on that in the future. I can't think of anything else. I don't want to sit here humming for too long, so those are my answers for now. The Bearded Guy, he asks, show a fleet view, fleet pics of your fleet in one of the vids and do a review on why you chose each ship. Now this guy, I think, is talking about Star Citizen, which he's in a niche group, and nobody watches my Star Citizen videos. If you watch those, they have like 60 views. They're very unpopular. But if I just go off I have a Carrack, which is like a big exploration vessel, and a Pisces, which goes into that. I'm not gonna show any pictures. I mean, you can look them up. I chose that because it's cool, has extremely broad functionality, and exploration's kind of what I would want to do in that game when it's fully released, which it will be. Don't give me this nonsense already. I have a Mercury Star Runner because it's like a good in-between, versatile, medium ship. And then I have a Hornet because you need a fighter of some kind. So there you go. Darth Kratos the Wise. He weirdly starts his question off with one more question. What's your opinion on the accusation on King Harlaus, I guess he means, raping an innocent stick of butter? And do you believe he actually did it? Sneed asks, how do you feel about the Swedish government's response to Corona? I don't have an opinion. I don't know. Who? Guillermo Friendoloso asks, I think I banned this guy from my Discord. Top 5 favorite games. I don't know. I don't like top lists. It's hard to pick. I'll rattle off a couple ones I really like that kind of have stuck to my memory. I mean, Rome 2 Total War is a shit show, but I have like thousands of hours in it, so I mean, I gotta mention it. An old-timey game that I always remember fondly, but I don't go back and play it because I'm not crazy, is Hidden and Dangerous 2, which was like a World War II Ghost Recon-y type of game. It was very cool. You should look up some videos of it. What else? Like the original Call of Duty, maybe? Like the first one before it just became fucking drivel. What else? I can't remember anymore. Star Citizen, fuck it. Next question. Haha No asks, if you could be anyone throughout history for a day, who would you pick? There's a good question. And I remember reading this already, and I was kind of thinking about it because it was kind of a hard choice. And I think, as much as I think peace and being nice, trying to do that thing is better, I would probably pick like Alexander the Great at the Battle of Gaugamela, just because it's just such a crazy spectacle to witness, and from his sort of position, and just know that there's thousands of people around there that just kind of like about to die because of you. That's a weird emotion. Just be curious what that perspective would be like. So I think that would be what I would choose. And I'd get to speak with that cool Irish accent, you know? Han Solo asks, which is the best faction and why is it Azerai? I think you're pretty alone in that opinion, buddy, but to each their own. I'm surprised you didn't say the Rebel Alliance. Oh, here's Darth Kratos again. I guess this was his first comment. Any other games you like? I think we kind of said that. Haha no again. He asks, what's your pin? It is... That's what it is. And here's Darth Kratos again. He says, what is your favorite dinosaur? Now there is a real question. I'm not an absolutist in most ways, so like picking a number one in anything is really hard for me. I don't know. I think like really big, crazy sauropods are really just the most mind-blowing of dinosaurs, whereas they're all pretty cool. Just trying to fathom something like that's basically the size of a blue whale walking around on land, and then there's like, I don't know, 40 of them just walking around causing like earthquakes because they're so fucking big. It's cool, and it's one of those things that really rattles your brain in an interesting way. So I would say that. Razio asks, ketchup or catsup? I don't even know what catsup is, so ketchup? I don't know. He also goes jelly or jam and tomato or tomato, I guess. I just don't know. I'm not opinionated on any of this. I say tomato. There you go. I don't need jelly or jam. So what about jolly? There you go. Compromise. Diamond asks, where are you born? What country? None of your business. Toby asks, how are you? There's a question. I'm doing alright. Going to therapy. That's always fun. You know, trying to sort my own shit out. I'm pushing 30. I figure I might as well, you know, catalog all of my bullshit and figure out what makes me me, and kind of just learn how to live with it in a way where it's not making the decisions for me, you know? Put it on the table, work it out, and then move on. So I'm alright. I'm trying, doing my best. Vasily Mihai, again, he goes, pineapple pizza, yes or no? I mean, if you like it, go nuts. Me, I think that's kind of gross, so no. Next up, we have Aixen from the Wayna. It's a regular commenter. He's always making great points, and he always has great questions. And here he is back at it with another one. He goes, are you circumcised? Well, when I was born, the doctor looked immediately at my crotch because he was a man of dubious morals. And he said, whoa, this just isn't fair. This man has too much dick. We gotta cut some off. And so they did, I guess. I got it like halfway trimmed at a later date. It was too snug. It was too tight, apparently. Urine Bastard asks, what is the country you live in? I don't believe in nation states. We are all one people who should get along and be friends and interbreed. That's my answer. YO asks, why? Why not? Axmatome asks, are you an alpha male? I mean, no. Not really. What does that mean, anyway? I'm just me. I'm just trying to be me, and I'm trying to be nice, and do my own thing, and try and just live my life. That's my answer to that. It's a weird question. I don't know. You tell me. We have haha no here again. He asks, have you ever had a dream that you had your you could you'll do you want you could do so you'll do you could do you want them to do you so much you could do anything? Isaac Norris asks, when will we be getting videos explaining the lore of all these factions, and how do you go through the process of thinking of the backstory and how it's intertwined with all the existing lore and cultures in the vanilla game? That's a pretty good question. I mean, I just released that video on the Yorlings and their lore. You could watch that if you so wish. I'm probably going to do something like that for all the cultures, because they're all getting reworked or, you know, introduced completely from scratch. But it's a lot of work. I don't expect those too regularly, but I want to do it. And the process of thinking of the backstory, that's mostly Cornelius. Like, I'll create the concept for the faction and sort of a rough, like a first draft of the origin story and the basic concept. And him being an actual history teacher takes that and turns it into the kind of stuff that you guys see. So thank him for that. He's a man of great talent, and all this stuff would not sound as cool and be written as well if it was just me. That's for sure. The Missing 8 asks, what is your honest opinion of Bannerlord 2 as it stands today? It's pretty shitty. I gotta be honest with you. For 8 years of development, it's pretty doggy doo-doo. It's I'm very, critical-ish. Like, not even critical. I mean, I don't go and rant about this and like post angry comments on their Facebook. But I don't get it most of the time. Whenever they kind of Tailwords introduces something in a patch, I just go, I don't get it. What are you doing? Like, they added Celtic helmets for Britannia that were from like, I don't know, 500 years before Christ or something, in a game that's set in the year 1084. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just, what the fuck? And it's been a year since early access, and I think that he came out like today as I'm recording this and said that we're gonna aim for a Q4 release. I mean, God, I hope so. The Is 2.0 asks, when do you think the Immersion project will release? When it's done. James Arnold asks, do you have a process for balancing the factions? Obviously, each faction has their special unit, which will be quite strong, but are there any you see as being weaker or stronger at the moment? And are you planning to add new cities to the map? Just balance and all that's, I mean, that's gotta come later. We gotta get a functioning like sandbox in there with every faction and all their troops and all their stuff, and start playing with it, see what happens, and we'll kind of have to take it from there. But I mean, in some ways they should be basically equal in capabilities, sort of, in different areas, but overall balanced. And are you planning to add new cities to the map? I mean, yes, and heaps of new settlements and fiefs in general, because we gotta add them for all the new cultures and the new places, and for all the new kingdoms of vanilla cultures. We got to do a whole fucking heap of them. So yeah, it's loads, new areas of the map, all that stuff. Sneed goes, what's the inspiration for your YouTube name? It is. I thought about this a lot when I was making this channel. It was almost like almost to the point of excess, and I think of what the channel name was going to be. But it's a couple of things. It's a play on my real name initials. I don't want to be more specific than that right now, I think. And because I know right now this is all just Bannerlord stuff. I realize that that's kind of the hole I've pigeoned myself into. But I got all kinds of crazy interests, and I kind of want to do something with most of it on this channel. A camera now. I can do all kinds of stuff. Foot porn, I don't know. So just, the alpha and the omega, just sort of everything, and, both ends of everything and everything in between. All of it, everything, just everything. Yo asks, are you magic? We are all magic, my friend. The fact that you are alive in this day and age is fucking crazy. So be grateful for that. Your ambassador asks, what is your nationality? Hey, buddy, mind your business. Vasily Mihai asks, cats or dogs? I'm not one to like shit on people for their opinions, but if you like cats, just what? Why? They're assholes. Like, objectively, they're just scumbags. Find me a news article about a cat dying, drowning in a river, trying to save his master, alright? And then maybe I'll change my mind. Dogs, all the way. Yersinia Pestis asks, feet pics. You fucking ass for it. Yeah. So you know what? Take it all, baby. Darth Kratos the Wise, once again, is asking, are you a Rodok or a ran over duck? The second. Your ambassador asks, is God real? It depends, I guess, what your definition of a god is. I'm not religious, per se. I'm into a lot of esoteric subjects, so I think spirituality is very important. And I think the universe, or broader than the universe, just whatever this thing we're in, I think is a lot more complicated than we know. I'm pretty sure, to the extent that I can be, I mean, I'm leaning towards that there's probably life after death. I'm leaning towards that there is probably greater intelligences than ourselves that are in some way involved in our reality. Is there like an old man with a beard somewhere just going, yeah, so everything that happens down here? I have my doubts, and yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Does anyone know? If they do, let me know, because I think a lot of people would like the answer to that question. And I think that was the last one. What a great one to round off on. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Obviously I'm doing this video because we hit 10K on the channel, which is, that's pretty crazy, because up until this last video I posted, it was 0 production value in what I was doing as far as the actual videos goes. I mean, I know I was making mods and doing that stuff, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised people were that into it, but I'm glad. I mean, I appreciate it, I really do. So with that being said, thank you for watching once more. If you want to, if you have, oh boy, I just slapped you in the face, I'm sorry. If you have, you know, a desire to support what I'm doing, you can go to my Patreon if you want. Okay, I hate this part. I hate asking or even mention. I'm not even asking for money, because I'm not. I mean, just watch my videos without an ad blocker and I get paid anyway, so we're all good. But if you want to, the option exists, but you don't have to. It's perfectly fine. Check out the Discord server. There's a lot of work in progress stuff for BIP being posted in there. Check out the ModDB page. What else? I don't know. Shout out to everybody doing their thing and stuff. Have a good one. See you next time.